Hi everyone, this is Ophelia. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been in contact with you, and so today I just came home and I decided I was just gonna come outside and do a video. And what am I gonna talk about? I don't even know. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit because it's been a while since I've done a video. And I realized that a lot of people, when they visit my website, they are searching for articles, for blog posts that I do about, my life is a living hell. And I realized that this season that we are in, for many of us, it is a very challenging season. For some of us, more so for some of us than others, because at this point not everyone is in a similar situation, though the this whole corona virus situation is affecting many of us. The extent to which it is affecting us differs based on certain things. And some of these things might include where you're at mentally, spiritually, and financially, and as well as physically. So in terms of financially, if you're in a job, you may not unless the job doesn't pay you well, outside of that, you may not have any issues in terms of your finances. However, many of us, we have issues in terms of finances. We are either working at a job that is not paying us enough to meet our monthly needs, or we are probably unemployed and unable to even meet our daily needs. Many of us are losing our jobs because it's been mandated in many states, many countries, that you must take the injectable in order to get a job, or in order to keep the job if you are already in the job. And so some people are leaving their jobs because of this, and others are taking the injectable and staying at their jobs. Now I am kind of like moving here because there is a Jack Spaniard here. There's some wasps around, and I'm very scared of wasps. So I'm very scared of wasps. So excuse me with this. Anyway, as I was saying, it's like many of us, we have our financial issues dealing with, and some of us, besides our finances, we have our spiritual issues dealing with. Many of us, we're not quite there yet. We don't feel peaceful in our lives. We don't feel happy because of everything that's going on, and so our spirituality, our mental status is being affected, as well as in terms of our physically as well. And in terms of physically, we talk about some of us having existing health problems, and some of us getting sick with the disease, that the COVID disease. And so because of that, we are not in good health. And for those of us who are in good health, congrats to you. Keep it up. So we're gonna address three things this afternoon. We're gonna talk a little bit about spirituality. We're gonna talk a little bit about physical health, and we're gonna talk a little bit about financial health, because these three aspects, they are interrelated in that if you're spiritually, if you're not there, if you're not at peace, if you're distressed, it's gonna affect your physical health. And also if you're having financial issues, that too can affect your physical health as well as other aspects of your life. There are some of us, we, instead of focusing on our mental health, we focus on the financial aspect. But I believe that we, in terms of our health, and I might add socially as well. So let's talk about mentally slash physically slash spiritually, financially, physically, and socially. All right, so however we take it. So let's look. I believe that the head, everything starts from the head, and so spirituality has to do with the mind, right? And some of us, our spiritual health, we believe in a faith. Some of us are Christians, some of us believe in other things. And so whatever it is that you believe in, whatever it is that you are meditating on or focusing on, or that is gonna decide how you are mentally. If your spiritual health is affected, if you are anxious, if you're fearful of what is going on, you're not grounded, then that can affect your spiritual health. If you don't know what you are, who you are, and you don't have a grasp as to what is happening around you, then that too can affect your spiritual health. So for me, for instance, the idea for me is to always stay grounded. So in terms of spirituality, whatever you believe in, you must take some part, you must include it in your daily life. Whatever it is that you believe in, you must include it in your daily life, because if you don't include it in your daily life, you are not going to be grounded. Because what's happening is there's so much things that is happening around us, and it's there to distract us. And the minute you get distracted, then you start feeling anxious and like you're just losing hope. And for those of us who are Christians, we know of the story of Peter when he was in the boat with his some of the other disciples, and he saw Jesus, right? He saw Jesus. Jesus was walking on the water, and Peter decided that he wanted to walk on the water too. He came out of the boat and he's walking towards Jesus, and everything is fine, and all of a sudden he became fearful and he began sinking. So I look at the spiritual life as that if you skip that aspect of your life too often, if you don't incorporate things that keep you spiritually grounded, whether it's prayer, meditation, reading your Bible, that kind of thing, if you don't incorporate that regularly into your life, you are going to feel very anxious, as if you are drowning, because with everything that's happening around us, with all the fear and all of that, if you don't focus, if your spiritual life is not grounded, then you are going to feel very fearful. And that fear now is going to have you without sleep, getting sick, getting unduly stressed, and even getting things like high blood pressure, heart problems, anxiety, depression, you name it. So this is the head, your spirituality with the mind. So once that is affected, it affects every other area of your life. Think about your physical health now. So let's move to your physical health. Your physical health depends on a lot of things in order to stay in balance, and some of these things include getting sunshine and fresh air, becoming active, getting out of the house, taking a walk. Now we know that at this time, that because of certain restrictions, movement restrictions in terms of COVID, that many of us, we can't move around as we ought, or we should. And so many of us, we are sitting inside and we're putting on weight, and we are just feeling lousy about ourselves. Our body has become lazy, our heart has become lazy, and then we're taking more calories. We're eating specific foods like junk food and food that are high in starch and other things like that, fatty foods, and these things, right? And so we are sitting in our couch daily. Some of us, we are on the internet regularly. Some of us, we are reading books, whatever we are doing, but we're just sitting around and we're just eating, and we're taking in a lot of calories, and we're not putting out much because we don't really move. And so this in itself is causing a lot of problems: diabetes, high blood pressure, heart problems, high cholesterol, you name it. And depends on the food that you eat. High cholesterol is one of the biggest issues as well, because if you're eating all of these greasy, fatty foods, sugary, and all of that food, it's blocking up your clogging up your arteries, and so you can even result in having blood clots and all of these things. All right, so that's your physical health. So how can you maintain good physical health? Now the idea is to make sure that you move, keep moving, because if you don't use it, you will lose it. If you don't move, you will become more lethargic. You become tired. You get up in the day and you just lie on the couch because you don't have to go out. Maybe you're walking inside and you're sitting at the desk all day, and so you barely get a break to maybe eat something, and then you're gaining all of this weight. So the idea is to find some time, whether it's once, twice, or 3 times a week, where you can actually do a little bit of walking. If you have to walk to the grocery store, find opportunities where you can walk in terms of exercise, right? Get outside as well, and not only exercise but also get yourself, sorry, some ants trying to bite me there, get yourself some sunshine and fresh air. Mother Nature, if you listen in the back there, you're hearing all of the birds behind. You're hearing them in the background, right? This is nature. So get outside, breathe in the fresh air, take some deep, nice, fresh air into your lungs, let it out, and just breathe and feel good about yourself. All right. In terms of stress, exercise works for stress. Also, things you eat, some certain foods enhance your mood, and some of these food include even things like bananas, right? Bananas to enhance your mood. Other things I like to include in my diet has to do with herbs like peppermint and all these things, because when I drink them, ginger with honey, ginger by itself if you don't have honey, ginger with a little bit of sugar, not much. And I like to drink these things, and it just energize me, enhance my mood. Water. Some of us, we don't like the taste of water, but including water in your diet is very important. It makes you more energetic and it prevents you from feeling lethargic. So you include water, include fruits like watermelon, mangoes, whatever it is that you can grab your hands on. Make sure you include fruits in your diet, vegetables, green leafy, all these different vegetables that you can eat to make you healthy. So it's about eating more good things and less of the sugary, starchy, oily, fatty things. In terms of oil, I go for olive oil or coconut oil. Those are the 2 oils I use. In terms of salt, your body needs it, your heart needs it, your body needs salt, but try to avoid taking in too much salt. You need your potassium as well from your fruits, your bananas and other fruits, so make sure you have that as well, and other vitamins that you need. If you can't get them in the right quantities, maybe you need to supplement. You could speak to your doctor about what best vitamins to take, supplements to take. All right, so that's your physical. As well, now we talk about financial. Now your financial issues, sometimes they are very difficult to solve, especially if you haven't been paying attention to them. So for those of us who have a job, who have jobs right now, the thing is to save as much as you can, spend only as necessary. Now is for instance, now there's a period of lockdown. Many of us, we're not out much on the road, and so do we really need to buy all of these shoes, all of these clothes, all of these things? Do we really need to do that? So you use that money that you're spending to buy extra clothes right now that you don't need. Use it to eat properly. Save a little something. If if you need to go and get a health insurance or life insurance, put the money into things. Invest in something, in a business. Maybe purchase some stuff that you want to sell and sell them. So make yourself productive, and think in terms of assets and not liabilities. Right? So what are the things that you need to keep you grounded? Because financial problems are not easy, and many times the problems that we have in our lives, most of them are financial. Most of them has to do with financial, right? And so you have to look at your spending habits, and you have to decide, can I afford to spend this amount of money? What can I do to save? What can I do to earn a living if you're not working, right? If you've lost your job, don't just be there lying down and feeling hopeless, right? I met a lady today, and she was like, I lost my job, and I just decided, well, I was getting desperate. And then she's opened her little business. She's cooking and she's selling her food. So what is it? What talent do you have? What can you do in order to make yourself productive? all right, in terms of your financial. We will get into this more when I discuss these things. I have videos already on finances and how you can improve your finances. In terms of social life, many of us, our social lives are affected because we are no longer able to hang out as we used to. Things have changed, and so some of us, we are feeling lonely. If you are feeling lonely, if you're living alone, you need to reach out to somebody. Maybe it's even if you can't see them in person, maybe over the phone, on Skype, or on WhatsApp, on Facebook Messenger, whatever medium you can reach out to people. Reach out to somebody who you trust, right? Other things you can do, if you're allowed to go to the beach. Even if you're not interacting with the person on a personal level, you can actually sit by yourself and look at other people having fun. And when you see other people having fun, it makes you feel better, right? It makes you feel better. So your social life, don't stay inside and wallow in self-pity. One of the things I realize is that if you are your life is what you make it. Some people say, oh, but I personally believe that the more you focus on the bad things, is the more you feel bad. The more you focus on the good things, is the more you feel, the better you feel. So I believe that if you want good in your life, then you have to try as much as possible to bring good from inside. You may not be able to control what is happening around you, but you're able to control what is happening inside of you. And so some of the thoughts that you have, some of the things, the images in your mind, and the feelings and the memories, some of them, they are not healthy. So you have to find ways, replace the bad thoughts with good thoughts. Replace them. If they're not making you go happy, just replace them. Yes, in spite of doing this, sometimes we still feel sad, and that's okay, because we're humans and we're not 100%. We're never 100% happy, right? There are times when we just have to just reflect on something may have happened, and you have to reflect. But at the same time, you should still try to make sure that whatever you want in your life, whatever you want to create, that it starts with you, not anybody else. Because right now many of us, we are feeling isolated because people who we used to depend on, some of them may have passed on, some of them may have may have left, and so you're feeling lonely, you're feeling all alone, and so you have that burden with you. But I'm saying that despite the fact that you may feel alone, you are never really alone. We are all interconnected. Just find a way to reach out. I'm doing this video too. This is a way of reaching out, and hopefully that this video can make you feel a little bit better about yourself. Now, in terms of your spirituality, of course, prayer, meditation, going out in nature, listening to birds, praying, singing, those things for your mental health. All right. So I'm gonna end this video. It's getting too long, so you will see this on my website and you will see it on YouTube. So I just wanna encourage you to still make the most of your life. As long as you're living, there is hope. Don't give up. All right, don't give up. Don't give up.